Welcome to the Platform Daily podcast, where we dive into the heartbeat of Kenya's evolving society. I'm your host, Aisha Mwangi, and today, September 17, 2025, we're broadcasting live from the spirit of Nakuru, where the 5th Annual Civic Space Protection Summit, or hashtag CSPS5, is kicking off under open skies. This two-day gathering, organized by the Civic Freedoms Forum and over 20 civic organizations, including Article 19 and Kituo cha Sheria, is all about reclaiming our freedoms through art, dialogue, and unfiltered action. With themes of justice, healing, free expression, and accountability, the summit spotlights youth panels on building peaceful societies amid fears of societal collapse due to rising deviance. But let's zoom out. We'll explore how law, human rights, security, and society intersect in Kenya right now. From controversial bills stifling voices to police reforms clashing with public distrust and economic strains fueling civic unrest. This is a conversation Kenya needs. Grab a seat, we're in for a 10-minute ride. Let's start with the legal landscape.
In the realm of law, Kenya's facing a perfect storm of lawfare, where legislation becomes a tool to silence dissent rather than uphold justice. Take the Kenyan Information and Communications Amendment Bill, 2025. Critics, including the International Commission of Jurists, argue it's a surveillance monster in disguise, eroding privacy and free speech under the guise of regulating digital spaces. Imagine state monitoring of online activism, targeting those who dare question economic policies like the finance bill protests of last year. And then there's the misuse of the Prevention of Terrorism Act, POTA. Since the 2024-2025 protests, over 300 arrests have been documented under this law, labeling peaceful demonstrators as terrorists. The Police Reforms Working Group calls it a blatant erosion of the rule of law. On a brighter note, interventions like Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome's crackdown on Ruiru land fraud are winning praise for restoring lawful ownership. But with courts underfunded and conviction rates dismal, access to justice remains a pipe dream for many, especially in land disputes tangled in corruption. As hashtag CSPS5 panels deliberate today, they are pushing for legal reforms that protect rather than punish. Youth voices are front and center, demanding transparency in how laws are wielded, because without fair laws, no society thrives.
Shifting to human rights, the scars from recent protests are still fresh. Human Rights Watch reports at least 72 enforced disappearances during the finance bill uprisings, with Amnesty International documenting 419 cases of torture. Police brutality, abductions, and extrajudicial killings have painted a grim picture, contradicting the government's narrative of progress. President Ruto's administration points to institutional reforms, but activists at hashtag CSPS5 are calling foul. Harassment of human rights defenders, like the targeting of HRW staff, shows a shrinking civic space. Discrimination hits hard too. The hashtag MyID, campaign highlights how 5 million Kenyans, particularly from Muslim communities, face invasive screenings for national IDs, violating rights to nationality and equality. Add to that women's and children's vulnerabilities, unequal inheritance, FGM, and protest violence against women. Informal workers, 83% of our workforce, lack ILO protections against harassment. Yet hope flickers. Today's summit features youth-led discussions on healing and free expression, using art as resistance. Under those Nakuru haystacks, young panelists are weaving stories of resilience, urging us to protect civic freedoms before deviance, from unchecked corruption to social ills, leads to broader collapse. Human rights aren't abstract, they're the glue holding our society together.
Security in Kenya is a double-edged sword. Reforms on paper, but trust and tatters on the ground. Last night's Citizen TV town hall with CS Kipchumba Murkomen and PS Raymond Omolo showcased gains. Over 10,000 new police recruits, widespread CCTV, body cams, and digital reporting systems. Crime rates are dipping thanks to community policing and gang rehabilitation programs. The government's even empowering local chiefs to tackle banditry and drugs, linking it to climate-driven threats in arid regions. But public distrust runs deep. New studies reveal low confidence due to corruption, political meddling, and memories of protest crackdowns. Stories of officers demanding bribes for filing reports? That's not security, that's extortion. And with Kenya leading the MSS mission to Haiti, renewed just days ago, our security apparatus is stretched thin. At #CSPS5, accountability panels are grilling these issues head-on, with youth demanding a shift from predators to protectors. True security means safeguarding rights, not suppressing them, especially as cyber threats and protest infiltrations loom large.
Finally, society, the fabric we are all weaving amid economic headwinds and cultural shifts. Maize prices stabilizing at 140 to 160 KSH shillings per 2 kilogram tin is a win from agricultural reforms under the bottom-up agenda. But IMF-driven cuts to health and education spending exacerbate inequality. Forex reserves hit USD 16.4 billion. Progress? Yet, evictions like those in Muhoza leave thousands homeless, and the informal sectors cry for ILO Convention 190 ratification to curb workplace violence. Cultural debates rage too. LGBTI+ rights face stigma and violence risks by UK reports, while regional polygamy talks spark conversations on tradition versus equality. Fears of societal collapse from deviance, think rising youth unemployment, feeling unrest, are real. But #CSPS5 counters with optimism. Youth panels today focus on peaceful societies through agribusiness empowerment and civic participation. Activism meets culture in this festival like Summit, sketch notes, keynotes, and artivism celebrating our diversity. Society isn't collapsing, it's evolving if we amplify these voices.
As #CSPS5 unfolds in Nakuru through tomorrow, remember, civic space is our shared arena. From legal battles to human rights defenses, security reforms to societal healing, Kenya's youth are leading the charge for a freer, fairer future. Join the movement. Follow #ProtectCivicSpace and #be part of the movement. Stay vocal, stay safe. Asante sana.
Thank you for watching. If our video resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing to stay updated. Join our community in the comments to share your insights and foster discussions that drive positive change. See you next time.